Good evening, everyone. We will begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the permission and protection granted us while participating today in God's divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray the Amatsu-Norito, prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Ka amaharani kamzumarimasu kamurogi kamuro mino mikoto mochite sume miyoya kamo izanagi no mikoto tsukushi no himuka no tachi hana no odo no ahagi harani misogi harai Dinarimaseru Araido no Kamitachi Moro Moro no Magabuto Tsumi Kedareo Tamae Kiyome Tamae Tomao Sukoto no Yoshio Amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomoni ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete kikoshi mese to kashikomi momaosu Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae Nagara tamachi hai mase Nagara tamachi hai mase Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated for group Johrei. Obrigado mesmo, Márcio. Summer's evening teaching for this evening is entitled God's Plan. It's found on Daily Inspirations, page 17. From the beginning of time, the great God of light has had the plan of establishing paradise on earth. How can this planet and all the universe by God be imprisoned in darkness forever? When all people on earth open their hearts and minds to God's divine plan, darkness in the world will disappear. We believe the Supreme God, the creator of the universe, has planned for the establishment of paradise on earth from the very beginning of time. Throughout the ages, God has been working toward its fulfillment. For this purpose, each human being is used as God's instrument. We believe that humanity's past history has been the preparatory stage for paradise on earth. For each age, God has sent the necessary individuals and religions, each to accomplish a specific mission. Now, the world is in such chaos, no one can predict what the future holds. We believe God entrusted Meishu-sama, our founder, with the great mission of providing the tools necessary for the world's transformation, so that God's plan for humanity's physical salvation can be fulfilled. We are determined to do our best to eradicate the three great miseries of humanity: disease, poverty, and conflict, and to help realize an ideal world of eternal peace in which truth, virtue, and beauty prevail. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters evening service, and also for praying along with us for world peace. This evening, I want to share with you the faith experience of Michelle Paes Pereira. Sorry, from Curitiba, Brazil. Michelle is married and has two daughters. One is 4 years old and the other is 2. Michelle and his wife had a hard time dealing with their second daughter, as she was always screaming, complaining, and crying. In late 2021, Michelle participated in a parent-directed study session with their minister. The teachings, spiritual courts, and juvenile delinquency were studied, and a guidance was given based on them. During this study session, Michelle felt deeply touched. It was as if Meishu-sama was telling him to strictly apply the said teaching in dealing with his daughter, and in his life in general. Michelle read the aforementioned teaching several times, but never really paid attention to their content. It came then a time for him to realize that the difficulties in dealing with his children and their troubling attitudes were rooted in him. He used to think that his daughter was difficult, and he just complained, blaming her and putting on her shoulders all the responsibility. Michelle understood that if he wanted for her to change, he must first change his feelings, thoughts, and actions, so as to not accumulate spiritual clouds, which will infallibly be transferred to his daughters. He became aware of the responsibility as a father and predecessor in her spiritual lineage. He pursued to gain strength, engaging our practices of faith, and in serving the divine work with great sincerity and gratitude. Michelle continued giving service at the Johrei Center, studying Meishu-sama's divine writings, and regularly channeling Johrei to his wife and daughters. And mainly, he tried to put into practice the teachings of Meishu-sama and the guidance he received. Every time his youngest daughter presented difficult behavior, he connected with God and Meishu-sama, asking for enlightenment, wisdom, and patience to better understand and deal with that situation. As soon as his daughter began screaming while lying on the floor, he would bend down and, in a comforting voice, talk to her until she calmed down. He and his wife stopped saying that she was a difficult child. They were looking to improve daily as parents. Now his daughter has shown improvements, being easier to deal with. She yells less frequently and is more communicative. This change, which began with him and his wife, extended to the other daughter, which brought more harmony to their home. We shall learn that the practice of Meishu-sama's teachings needs to be constant in order to serve as a basis for our spiritual elevation. He's very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for once again showing him the correct path to follow at a time when he felt completely lost. He now commits himself to continue serving the divine work and always having Meishu-sama's divine writings as the standards for life and serving as rules of conduct. Thank you very much for attending this evening service, for listening to this faith experience. I wish you a very blessed evening. With this concludes our evening service.